and welcome to part two of the Find View. I'm giving a video thing on the games. Again, I explained part one. Sorry about the lighting. I am in my living room. So part one, I was speaking about the top half of the Scottish Championship. Now I'm going to talk about the relegation side of it, and I'll kick off probably one of the bigger games where it's 10th versus 12th. It's 31 points versus 30 points. Dundee United versus Ross County. In part one, I briefly spoke about how prices are £10 for adult and £10 for adult, £5 concession at Tannadice. There's a decent buzz round Tannadice just now. If I'm to be honest, I still don't think United will survive totally. I want Kilmarnock to go down the AstroTurf pitch. There should be no club in the top flight with AstroTurf. If you're in the lower regions, let's say you're in League One, you're Forfar or you're Montrose, Elgin City, Albion Rovers, fair enough, right? They don't get the expenses that the bigger clubs do, and again, clubs like Kilmarnock, Hamilton, even Hearts, to a certain extent, don't get the financials that Celtic Rangers get. It's atrocious how a club or clubs can play in the Scottish top flight with an AstroTurf pitch. I don't even think the Championship clubs should have them, but there should be a thing in place that if you want to get into the top flight and you've got an AstroTurf pitch, you should get rid of the AstroTurf pitch, or you won't get in. The club behind you who has a proper pitch will get up in your place. So I'm going to kick off with the Dundee game at Ross County. As I mentioned, Dundee United, they host Ross County. It's 10th versus 12th. 31 points, host 30 points, so a point in it. Realistically, United need a win to just about give them that security. Even if United do win, it won't make them secure. I don't think anyone will be secure in this game or the next game. I think it'll be the 37th and the 38th game. So there's been a slight wobble with Dundee United. They lost last week at McDermott Park. I don't think they're rescinding Mulgrew's red card. I've had a look at that. I don't see why that was a red card. Personally, I felt that the referee that day was card happy. I feel that there was a Dundee United defender in place to intercept if the St John's player went on goal, but the referee decided red card, and you have to go. And I think it was because of that St Johnstone beat Dundee United. St Johnstone themselves, they've not been on a good bit of form. Obviously, they were on a bad bit of form. Then they sacked, I think is it Callum Davidson? Because there's Callum Murray. I keep getting them mixed up. I think it was Callum Murray. And I think it's now, is it McLean? It's now the temporary manager. Ross County as well. They're not in a good bit of form. Recently, they got absolutely destroyed at Hearts. I think did they draw with Livingston last week. I've not prepared that much. Some scores I do remember, and others I can't. But Ross County just now are bottom. They need to win just as much as Dundee need to win. But try to tell the Dundee fans that. um, so with that in mind, I don't think United will win. I also don't think Ross County have what it takes to beat Dundee United. The atmosphere, I think, will be the best atmosphere. I said this in the United forums. I don't. I feel that a sold out Tannadice will be a better atmosphere than either Parkhead or Ibrox with only one set of fans combined. So if you combine Celtic Park with all Celtic fans, no Rangers fans, and Ibrox with all Rangers fans, no Celtic fans, put them together, I still think a sold out Tannadice tomorrow will be better than those two atmospheres combined. Now we're going to Kilmarnock versus Livingston. Kilmarnock, another one on 31 points. They could realistically be 10th if things go their way. Kilmarnock are at home to Livingston. Livingston are just about safe. A point would definitely secure their safety. Same with Motherwell. I'll get onto Motherwell in a minute. But given that Kilmarnock in recent games have struggled, Livingston, they're not really in any relegation battles. Again, they know a point will secure. But the thing about Kilmarnock is they could effectively be bottom tomorrow. Livingston, I feel, will be the team in form. I think they'll kind of want to end the season on a high. They'll want to outdo Motherwell to finish top in that bottom six. So with that said, my prediction for Kilmarnock is Kilmarnock 1, Livingston 2. And the last game, it's St Johnstone versus Motherwell. I always think of this game as Tam Cowan and Stuart Cosgrove, the odd couple from the Off the Ball on BBC Sportsound. Motherwell, similar to Livingston, they want to finish top of the relegation battle. Given that St Johnstone aren't really on a good bit of form, yes, they beat Dundee last week at McDermott Park, but Motherwell, I feel are just too good. When you've got Kevin Van Veen on the form that he's on, then you fancy Motherwell against most clubs. I think if Kevin Van Veen is anything like he is most games, then I think Motherwell will win. So my prediction there is St Johnstone 1, Motherwell 2. Then that will be game 36 done. No, 35, sorry, 35. After this, there'll be 3 more games. Mathematics is not my strong point. So just to recap, my predictions for this week's Scottish Premiership games: Rangers 1, Celtic 2, Aberdeen 3, Hibernian 1, St Mirren 1, Hearts 2, and in the relegation side of the league, Dundee 1, Ross County 1, Kilmarnock 1, Livingston 2, St Johnstone 1, Motherwell 2. And just for the last couple of minutes, I mentioned in part 1 that I'm thinking about doing a VAR special. VAR was brought in earlier on this season. The first game, it was Hibernian versus St Johnstone at Easter Road. Then the next day, it was that classic 4-3 game between Hearts and Celtic. Lawrence Shanklin got a penalty. We had a hat trick. We had a couple of penalties ourselves. That game was back and forth. You always get that at Tannadice. At Tynecastle. I apologise. Celtic always seem to get decent games at Tynecastle. Even going back 15, 20 years when, let's say, Gordon Strachan was manager. I remember a game we won 4-3 and Stephen McManus got the last minute winner. So VAR came in this season. I've asked friends what they think of VAR. I may go into numerous groups on Facebook and get their opinion of it. VAR's certainly, in my opinion, brought up more questions than answered. Certainly in the last month or two, there's been a fair number of questionable red cards given that probably shouldn't have been done it. People like Graham Shinney, who was sent off recently, Ross County Aberdeen, was not a red card. And I touched on when I was speaking about Hearts in part 1. They had a man sent off against Celtic last weekend. I don't think that was a red card. I felt that was harsh. I think VAR overall has been harsh. I recall back in the Scottish Cup earlier on in January, Celtic versus Greenock Morton at Celtic Park. The penalty in the first couple of minutes given against Effie Ambrose, that was never a penalty. Why can't they just normalise or put it back to how it was? Because not every time the ball hits a hand is a handball. But in this day and age, the rules just now, some of them are so harsh, and people were asking for years. I was sort of asking for it because I felt that after a year or two it would probably be a good thing. There's still quite controversies down in England over VAR, so it's clearly not the finished item. But I do feel that if it was implemented properly, that even if they introduced it or implemented it like they do in rugby, like if you watched rugby, especially the Six Nations, the referee clearly, you can hear his conversation with the TMO, and the TMO is heard saying, yeah, we recommend a yellow card, we recommend a red card. The referee will then talk through that, and if there's any caveats, like if there was any reason that something happened, they'd say, right, can we give a wee bit of leeway for this, or can we give a wee bit of leeway for that? I think if the SPFL, as of next season, made that chat public or audible, so people in the stadium can hear it, people at home can hear it, then maybe there'll be less controversy. And again, it's also brought in for... Sorry, I need to wrap this up because I can only do 50 minutes. If it was like that, I think VAR would be a great thing to have. It was only meant to bring in the clear and obvious. But some of the decisions, in my opinion, again it's only in my opinion, weren't obvious, clear and obvious. The Shinny red card against Ross County, again it wasn't clear and obvious. The red card for Hearts against Celtic, there was nothing clear and obvious about that. Andy Walker made the point that would anyone complain if it was just a yellow? No Celtic players complained. I think even Callum McGregor was a bit shocked that it was a red. So that's that for just now. I'll probably be back soon with a VAR special. Thank you for watching The Fine View.